Good Sunday to all. Shavua Tov. Hope you are doing well. About 17 or 18 years ago, we lived in Memphis on a very calm street. It was a dead end. Overall, very friendly neighbors. Across the street, there was a house that was rented out. And the individuals that were renting across the street looked a little bit problematic. Uh, their dogs, Uh, their appearance seemed to be individuals that were not very much involved with society. So, we were friendly, but we avoided in general contact. One night, we're sitting for dinner, and one of the kids mentioned that there's a lot of activity across the street. I didn't know what he meant, so I went to the window, and we noticed about six police cars, yellow tape all around the house on the street, and obviously something significant was taking place across the street. So we walk outside, we walk over to a policeman, and we ask him what's happening. He says, "Well, fellas, I can't tell you what's happening, but you know the fellow with the tattoos that lives across the street? Yes. You ain't gonna see him for a very, very long time." That's what the policeman told us. What we found out afterwards was that these neighbors, there were two men and a woman, had a meth lab across the street where they were producing these substances, would sell some, would use some. And it appears that they got into a fight. And one of them pulled the gun, the other one grabbed it, and the individual was unfortunately shot and killed. So this was tragic, and indeed, we never saw that person for a very, very long time, as the policeman told us. Now, one of the neighbors noted something very interesting, that she didn't hear anything, but at one point her little dog started barking. And she didn't know why the dog was barking, nothing unusual was taking place at home. And then afterwards, she found out that occurred, that the dog was barking right as the shot uh, took place. And it reminded me of a statement in the Talmud. The Talmud tells us that when Malach Hamavet Ba'ir, when the angel of death is active, the dogs sense it. This is what the Talmud tells us. Now, what does this have to do with anything that is Torah based? So the Torah tells us that as our ancestors left Egypt, there was a calm. Ulechol b'nei Israel lo yecheratz kelev leshana. The dogs did not bark. And obviously, when there's tension and when people are nervous and uptight, dogs pick this up and they bark. And so too, as the Talmud tells us, when Malach Hamavet Ba'ir, when the angel of death is active, and in Egypt he was quite active, the dogs bark. Nevertheless, ulechol b'nei Israel lo yechratz kelev leshona, for the people of Israel, as they were gathering together, preparing to finally leave Egypt into freedom, there was a complete calm, that even the dogs did not bark. And there's a message for us that when we talk about Jewish freedom, so yes, it is the ability to serve the Almighty and to relate to Him, because that's what the journey and exodus out of Egypt was all about, to reach Mount Sinai and have a relationship with the Creator. But it's also about having a calm. In other words, when I know that I'm doing the right thing, that my life has meaning, that I'm connecting to the higher being, that I'm using the world the appropriate way, all these things and everything that Judaism teaches us and everything that Torah is about should really bring a calm. So the Exodus was an experience of calm. And obviously, it is something we could be mindful during a time of challenge. And there are worries. We all worry about things. There are concerns. We can't predict the future. But we have to really understand that when we hope for those better days, and they will, Be'ezrat Hashem, come. There's no question in my mind. They're going to come. We have to be a bit patient. Perhaps in Canada, they are teaching us more about patience than in other developed countries. But nevertheless, we have to realize that the goal of practicing our Judaism, when we are finally able to gather together in shuls and put these worries and concerns behind us, is number one, to appreciate what we have. But number two, there should be an internal calm. And the calm should be that, you know what, we have faith in the higher being, we have faith in ourselves that we're doing good things. And when we bring the thanksgiving and the calm together, we will have, Be'ezrat Hashem, God willing, a magnificent Jewish journey. So let's be patient for now, but we will reach there. For the time being, keep up the good work, and to the best of our ability, let's try to stay calm and hope for good things. It should be a wonderful day. Bye-bye.